Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today of the Rhino, we're looking at a beer from a new brewery for me. That doesn't happen often. This is from Nova Scotia, from Annapolis Royal in Nova Scotia. This is Annapolis Brewing Company's Courthouse Coffee Vanilla Stout. So I have 12 beers from them. And this is probably the one that I'm most interested in. And I'm going to start with it. Because if I really dislike this one, then they have 11 more to redeem themselves with. And if I love this one, they have 11 beers to make me think that it wasn't worth it. I hope I love it. I love coffee. I can't say I loved coffee before. My damn wife got me into coffee. But I loved coffee in my beers. I love vanilla in my beers. So a coffee vanilla beer is usually very nice for me. And I love stouts. So you're taking three things I love in beer, mixing them together, and hopefully I'm getting something good. What do we got going on here? Follow us. They won an award at the Canadian Brewing Awards. I just can't read what it is. 1 second here. Let's try and read this. Named after one of the oldest courthouses in Canada, built in 1837, the courthouse in Annapolis Royal is still active and the judgment is in. A fine balance of dark roasted malt, hops, coffee, and vanilla. A creamy mouthfeel with subtle coffee and vanilla notes from start to finish. Make like you're on vacation. Chill for best results. Well, we both know that we all know that I don't. We both know. There's only one other person that watches these videos. My ex-wife. No. We all know that I don't chill my beer. I do have beer in the fridge. I don't normally chill my beer, especially my review beers. 48 IBU, 6.3% alcohol by volume. What else do we got going on here? There's a bug flying around my room right now. I don't like bugs. Stout craft beer. Okay, so there's not really much on here. Let's open her up. We're wasting time. My wife was hoping to get lucky tonight, but I might be getting lucky with this beer. That's all I can say. Beautiful mocha head. 2 fingers of head right now. Nice snap, crackle, pop. I can hear it from back here. Head looks nice and creamy. Beer is black. That's the black blood of the earth. For those of you that are too young to know that movie, you should go watch it. You really should. Big Trouble in Little China. Go watch it. It's a movie that not enough people know about nowadays. I've been talking to people about Big Trouble in Little China, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, man. Anyway, scent from the glass. Lots of coffee. And we're talking dark roast bitter coffee and very in-your-face green to light roasted. It smells more green than light, but it must be a type of coffee. Are they using... Do they tell me what type they use? Because it smells almost like the Azaka coffee. Like, it has this... No, it doesn't tell me. There is a type of coffee that is roasted, but it smells like green coffee. It like invades your nostrils, but with an almost piquant scent more so than bitter or roasty. And that's what I'm getting on this. Sorry, my son has started watching. He got grounded from his TV for not doing his chores. So he's only allowed to watch TV when he watches TV with me. So I started watching a show that I liked as a kid, but I know won't keep his attention, and he's actually starting to like it. And it's Star Trek. And though Deep Space Nine, for those of you that are Star Trek fans, what was your favorite Star Trek to watch? I mean, I love Lower Decks, don't get me wrong, but Deep Space Nine was always my favorite of the 90s, 2000s era Star Trek. And then probably Voyager, then Enterprise. Sorry, not Enterprise, but Next Generation, then Enterprise. Ah! Ah! Okay, where were we? Yeah, so though I love Lower Decks, Deep Space Nine was probably my favorite. The Next Generation, though it's what I grew up on, it wasn't really my favorite because well, it was kind of slow, and it was methodical, and I get it, but it just wasn't my thing. Deep Space Nine and Voyager had more of a story base to it. Enterprise was weird to me. Picard I liked, but I didn't like it was 3 seasons? Season 1 was okay, Season 2 sucked, Season 3 was good. In my opinion. Anyway, what was your favorite if you watched it? But however, my favorite sci-fi shows, period, were probably, other than Trek, Babylon 5, Farscape, and I really liked the Lex as well. This is supposed to be a beer review, but hey. And I really liked the Lex when Zev started getting played in the second season by the different actress. Then I really liked the Lex. Yeah. But also Farscape, Babylon, Battlestar Galactica. I really liked that too. Anyway, back to the beer. I was only bringing that up because my son started watching that with me, and I was surprised that he got into any of it. And he asked me today, he's like, you're closing tomorrow, right? I go, yeah. He goes, can we watch some Star Trek together? I'm like, oh, I've been trying to fucking get a time where we could connect for years. I tried to get him to watch Doctor Who with me, and it just didn't happen. Cheers, let's try the beer. It smells great. Okay. Off the first sip, I don't know what to think. It's heavy, which it should be. It's a stout. Lots of bitterness. Almost like a tobacco smoke on the back of the palate, and dark coffee, like left in the carafe too long. Like it was in the jug. It was in the coffee pot, and you left it on the burner too long, and it started just getting even more bitter. That's off the first sip. I still feel coffee all over the palate. So the coffee's there. It's there. Hey, I just learned recently. Well, I knew it was said before, but I actually had a doctor tell me. Because I'll talk things through in my head, and I'll make plans and I hear my own voice talking it through, right? And I'm like, oh, I can do my math in my head. And while I'm doing math in my head, I'm like visualizing the numbers, and my own voice is talking. 2 times 2 minus 6, 8 plus 8. Not that having an inner monologue isn't normal. I'm like, wow, I'm not normal. And my wife's like, no fucking shit, Sherlock. No, thanks, honey. Right as you swallow, you get the vanilla. There's this sweetness It's a caramel and vanilla sweetness. And as you swallow, you get that sweetness, and then it's beating the fuck back with the coffee. I think, here's the thing. I actually love this beer. However, for it to be a 9 or a 10, the sweetness from the caramel in the malts, the caramel flavor coming from the malts, the sweetness from the vanilla, it has to be a little more powerful to cut a little bit of the coffee. The way it is right now, I quite enjoy it, but I couldn't say, oh my god, this is Stout Strut worthy. What I can say is it's a very well-made beer, and it's over 6% alcohol. There's no alcohol warmth at all, which could make this a very, very dangerous beer. However, I don't think a lot of people could drink a whole bunch of these in a night. It is a very good beer. You cannot miss the coffee. You might miss the vanilla if you didn't know it was there. You might. I don't know. I'm going to try and get my wife to do a few of these with me in a blind way, where she pours for me and I don't know what's going on. And then we'll find out what happens, right? I really do enjoy it. It's a good beer. It's a good beer. Well, I guess I have to give it a mark. And like I said, for me personally, it's a very good beer. It's not a 9 out of 10 because you need a little bit more sweetness to make this a well-balanced beer. However, it does what it says on the tin. It will get you drunk, and it's a good beer to enjoy by yourself. I'm going to easily give this beer a 8.5 out of 10. Thank you, guys. Bye.